Okay, how would you like to go to one website, and spend a little time designing what you want to do because you're looking for $9,000 to tell a story about the real workers in China? Well, this is what this fella did. And he got $9,000 so he could go to China and take photographs of the real people make all these products in our country. And something like 50, 60, I don't know how many percent of the products come from China, right? So, but we don't know about the people making those products. We know about the bad things, that happen in China and all this kind of stuff, but not the people. And this fellow wanted to show the rest of the world the insides of these people and tell that story with his camera. And he went to this website, and got like almost $9,000 to do this. It wasn't from a big publisher. It wasn't from a fat cat. It wasn't from the China Nationalist Association or something like that. It was from the crowds in crowdfunding on the website. He's a delightful fella. So listen to how he did this. It's just a matter of having a decent idea, and testing it. And see, a website like this, you can test that idea. See if it works. If it doesn't, you get another idea. It costs you nothing to test it. So watch him tell you about the story, how he did this, and watch his pictures. His pictures are terrific. Man, it shows you the insides of these people, and that's what you don't get in the newspaper. So watch that. Well, it's Lucas Scherfs. I don't know if I got that right, but I'll try again later. But more importantly, man, you have a book about the working class now in China that I think is really so important in the world. It seems that, I'm trying to study Mandarin, for a year and barely know 3 words, and we have this biggest country in the world, and nobody knows what it's all about, and you're educating it. So how did you get into this?
Okay, well, I lived 5 years in China, and this project is about the made in China stuff that we use every day.
Yes.
And I thought we use all these objects every day, our phone, our computers, the kids' toys are all made in China, but we don't know the people who make them. Yeah. So I thought it missed the human side of the story. Everybody has an opinion about made in China. They're stealing our jobs. It's toxic, it's bad quality, whatever. Everybody has an opinion, but there's no human side of it. So that was lacking, and I wanted to show the human side of it. So I went to Chinese factories, and I took just portraits, pictures of the workers.
And you're starting your own State Department, it seems, like, to get communities together around the world. As long as what you're doing to me will bring us closer together as a world community than any diplomats will probably do. And more importantly, you found out you got $9,000 on the website to do that. What's the source again? You got the money from?
So it's Emphasis. Emphasis, yes. It's a crowdfunding website, and it's specialized in photojournalism. And so they found a lot of photo books.
So, basically. And these are where publishers normally wouldn't, maybe it's hard to get money from publishing books from publishers nowadays. And so you go on this website, and through crowdfunding, you're able to get the money needed to get this book to the public, huh?
Yes, that's how it works.
That's the name of the game, yeah. But the photographs are stunning, and you know that, Lucas. You've been a photographer for a long time, but it just real people showing real lives, and I could see through the photographs that how it just brings life more alive for me when I watch those photographs, and I know nothing about China. Oh, there's the book. Yeah, beautiful covers, but it every face that you have.
Yeah, it's about portraits and faces. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, look at that guy. That is. You have to love every photograph in there. That image is a real person. You cannot think of that person stealing your job. Yeah, you cannot think of that person, for somehow maliciously, putting something illegal in your product. Or the fairy tales that we have about other countries, because we just don't know. And that's why I think what you're doing with these beautiful photographs. Look at that woman. Just a little smile and sparkle that, you're able to capture. I mean, that's what I mean. I think a great photographer like you shows us the world that we don't even see.
Yeah, well, it was exactly the idea, and I call it looking into the eyes of Made in China. And the idea was really to get close to these workers, and that's why I make portraits very cropped like that. And yeah, you can read on the face, on the wrinkles, you can read the life of the worker in the picture. And if you like the imagination, there's also a little text, a little caption so it tells you the story of each worker. And I know each time it tells you what kind of products they produce. And you can see if you're using these products, like TV.
Oh, really? So you can, and you run to the kitchen. Oh man, that's a toaster. That guy made it.
Yeah, basically.
But
so
I think
so
go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I was this is a 2-year project. I took portraits of 600 workers, and I choose the 100 best ones to put in the book. And as we mentioned before, I'm a photojournalist, so my usual I go to the magazines with that, and I some magazine actually published it, but the maximum I had was 7 pages, and I thought it should be in a book and make 100 page, and it's like so the reader can take its time and see better these photos and think about the topic a little bit more.
Well,
so
at least in the States, is the book in French or English or both?
It will be in 2 languages, and maybe actually I'm thinking about adding Chinese. So yes, French, English, and Chinese.
Well, see, I sort of think, because I know a lot of Chinese Americans here where I live, that this is a wonderful coffee table book for them, for their American friends, to show what their life is like in China. Because when I have Chinese friends here, I'm trying to find out more what life is like in China. So now they could show me this book of really factory workers and in China and the image instead of painting a mental picture.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd love that, and it's definitely a coffee table book. And the great thing about Emphasis is that they really tell you should think about shipping the book all in the whole world. So that's what I did when I raised the campaign. I put a price for $50. You buy the book, and I'll ship it wherever you are.
So one price. Oh, that's wonderful.
Shipping included anywhere in the world.
So now you already got all your money from Emphasis, or going to do soon. But now the book is available on your website, right? It's Picto, Picto Bank, BANK.com.
Yes.
And then people could buy it there, and you say it's $50, and you'll ship it anywhere in the world for you, even into China.
and it's not a crowdfunding campaign anymore, where the rule with Emphasis is like all or nothing. So you put your budget, and if you don't reach your budget, then everybody gets their money back. So that's not going to happen anymore. So people order the book, and they know they'll get it.
Great. How about, is this printed in China?
It is printed in China.
Oh, it is?
Actually, I have this friend who had this great idea. He said, "Are you going to put in the book portraits of the worker who print the book?" It was a great idea. I loved it. It's just impossible, because how do you put in the book that they're printing the photos that you're taking at the same time? So it will be for a second book, I guess.
Or now you can do it. Put a postcard for special orders or something. You get a photograph of the printer. Like a little postcard, a throw-in or something like that. Oh no, that's terrific. Was it difficult to get into the factories to do this? As a foreigner.
It was a little bit, but then again, I lived in China for 5 years. So,
I see.
I have a Chinese assistant. I usually go to Chinese factories. In fact, that's how I got the idea. I was telling you that I work for magazines and media, and during my 5 years, regularly they asked me to illustrate the idea that China is the factory of the world.
Yes.
So I was going regularly to factories, but what pictures they wanted was this huge, gigantic, factories,
machine or whatever,
machines, and people, are really that small, and you see like 1,000 workers at once. Yeah. And the more I was going to these factories and taking these kind of pictures that the media were asking me to take, the less I was thinking it was actually the story, because I was taking lunch break with the workers. I was speaking better and better Chinese, and I was having conversation with them, asking them about their life. So I was thinking, no, really, I don't want to take these gigantic photos anymore. I want to focus on one person and then this other person and this other person. So in the end, I decided, okay, I'm going to found my own project. I'm going to have a pet project for the last 2 years, because at that time I knew I was going out of China in 2 years. So the last 2 years, I'm going to have this pet project. I'm going to go back to this factory, to go to new factories, and I will set up a photo studio and take pictures of the people one by one.
Yeah. Well, that's terrific. Now, and now you have the book, and that's why I find the people that I meet in the States. I haven't been to China, but the Chinese Americans that are just here a few years that I know, man, they're all just very respectful, sweet people. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just the crowd I hang around in, but they're just a delight to be around, and that's why, to me, for you showing that side of China more and the humanity of it is just wonderful, because like people know America just by the bad stuff we do, and we know China just about the bad stuff we do. And so,
well, exactly. It's about getting people closer, understanding more each other, not having stereotypes about each other, but getting to see them, hear their life stories, and really know them better. About Chinese people, I think they're really building their country. It's very exciting time. It was very exciting for the 5 years I was living there. You can see how they get from underdeveloped to developed, and maybe and they go for number one. Nothing's going to stop them. They want your seat in the GDP scale. They already leapfrog France.
Exactly. And they're right on our tail. They're going to be gone. We got to get smart. Well, we both do. Well, Lucas, thank you so much, Lucas. It's a pleasure to meet you, and it's a pleasure to know that people like you are doing this really good work out there, and that you found a website to finance it, even if other people won't finance it. The gatekeepers aren't financing it, so you found a way around everybody to get it financed. And if you go to pictobank.com and get Lucas's books about the real people in China who make everything for you, right?
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much, Matthew.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, bye-bye.
So use this website. You want to tell a story about something? This is a place to do it. And the crowd will tell you if your story is a good idea or a bad idea. Man, I've written 100 books and only about 10 have done anything. So we're all full of all kinds of ideas, and the only way you sort through those is by trying. You keep trying. You keep trying. So that's what you got to do.